Hi guys, my name's Christine. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Normal People by Sally Rooney. The story follows Connell and Marianne. They meet in high school and it sort of follows them as they sort of fall in and out of love throughout a few years. It starts in high school, ends up, I would say, in their somewhere in their 20s. Like, it doesn't go too far. But I really like I really liked it. I liked that you get to grow with the characters. Like, um, I think a big criticism that I've heard about the book is that nothing really happens, and if they would just talk to each other, all of this could have been avoided. And to that criticism, I want to say, have you never been in love in your 20s? Because miscommunication is key. Like, the idea is, I think, that they grow up as the story progresses. You see them mature. You see the way that their characters progress. I really like how realistic it is. It's not. I don't. I don't really read a lot of romance novels because I find them just to be. They're just not for me. It's way too silly. I don't know. I'm not a Bridgerton person. I don't go in for any of that. That I'm not criticizing people who do. I am not here to yuck anyone's yum. And I think, when it comes to women's pleasure, that has been policed to death. So if you're into, you know, dark fantasy romance or Bridgerton style romance, fine. But to me, it's just, I've never found it that enjoyable to read. So I was kind of resistant to reading anything that you would classify as romance. Um, but this one, to me, it's more than that. It's more about how the characters grow over time. They do fall in love, and then they fall out of love, and then they fall in love again and out of love. And it's the idea that there are certain people in your life that just, they're always going to be there, even though they're not always there. So they come and go, but when they come back into your life, it's like no time has passed, and you know where you are with that person. You know where you stand. I like that their relationship sort of informs each other's characters. I think a big theme of the book is how the people around us inform the lives that we live. um the it's not just like the romance of the two central characters. It's also, there's commentary on social status and on class divide. So you've got Marianne, who comes from a very wealthy family, and Connell, who comes from sort of middle to lower class family. But the flip side is, in high school, Connell is very popular and Marianne is very much sticks to herself. You've got Connell's family, it's just him and his mom, but she's very loving, very supportive. She's, the kind of mom we all want to be or want to have. And then you've got Marianne's family, who are shitheads. So, I like the dichotomy of both sides. On the one hand, you've got social status. On the one hand, um, you've got class divide. I like the complementary nature of those sort of underlying themes. I think that was really well done. I really like the style of writing. I know another complaint about the book is that nothing happens. Well, nothing really happens if you write about anybody's life. It's not, real life is not, a whole bunch of like big dramatic events. I like that the book finds something beautiful and something worth writing about in the mundane day-to-day lives of these characters. I think that's really very cool. I like that. One of the quotes that really, like, when I read it, it was like a record scratch in my head. I could hear it. We're hearing about Marianne's mother, and the quote says, "She believes Marianne lacks warmth, by which she means the ability to beg for love from people who hate her." That's such a cool line. I love that. I like the writing. It's very simple but very moving, and I think it. I know it might be weird that I always talk about like the covers because we're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but I really like the cover of this book for the same reason I like the writing. It's very simple but effective. I like just simple line drawings. I've seen another cover that I like as well, where it's the two characters are like sardines in a sardine can. I like that one too. So yeah, like I simple things can be beautiful, and I love that about the book. Um, I think it has a lot to say beyond just the characters' romance. There was a TV series that was made about a miniseries, and it had Daisy Edgar Jones as Marianne and Paul Mescal as Connell, and it's fantastic. I would recommend it. I saw the show before I read the book, so I really liked the show. It was very bingeable. Once you get into it, like it's kind of one more episode. It's one of those. Um, and I think it did a good job of conveying the story. There is a scene in the book, and it was in the show as well, that I just loved, because it shows the affection and love that the characters have for each other beyond just romantic love, where you've got Connell, who I think at the time is back home in Ireland. You've got Marianne, who I can't remember exactly. I think maybe she's in Germany studying, and Connell's going through a really hard time, and Marianne is just like, well, they're on Skype, I think, and she just stays on Skype while he goes to bed, and he wakes up in the morning and she's still there. She's studying, she's in a different time zone maybe or something, I'm not sure, but I just love that to me, that scene sort of conveys the affection those characters had for each other and the love that was there. It's not just about the romantic love, although that story is there, and I really like that too, because I think that it's more realistic than a lot of romance novels are. So yeah, I really liked it. I very much enjoyed it. I would highly recommend it to anyone. It's a very quick read. I think you could probably, well, depending on the reader, you could read it probably in a day or two. It's 287 pages. So it's not very long, and it's very easy to read, but there is a depth to it that is there if you want to see it. So yeah, check that one out. I would really recommend Normal People by Sally Rooney. Great read.